Egyptologists have researched the mysteries surrounding the Great Pyramid of Giza since the 1700s. Who built the pyramid? How was it built? And why did they go through extreme precision to construct this? This presentation will review the logical steps taken to reveal the theory as to the true nature of the Great Pyramid of Giza. There are several animations which reveal how the theory was established. To start, Napoleon marches his armies into Egypt, and while his troops are in Egypt, they find the Rosetta Stone. It is called the Rosetta Stone because it's found next to the town of Rosetta. On this black stone, we find 3 languages, one of them being Greek and hieroglyphics. The British defeated the French army and retrieved the Rosetta Stone and brought it to London. Today, the Rosetta Stone is located at the British Museum. But prior to handing over the Rosetta Stone, the French made copies. Thomas Young and Jean-Francois Champollion made major headway in deciphering the hieroglyphics. They were able to establish the name on the cartouche on the Rosetta Stone. The name is Ptolemys, which sets the date of 196 BC on the Rosetta Stone. Now that the hieroglyphics code has been deciphered, let's see if there's any details that we can uncover within the Great Pyramid of Giza. Unfortunately, there are no symbols, no hieroglyphics within the Great Pyramid of Giza. What do we do now? This was only possible due to Google and Microsoft and others digitizing these classics. Herodotus, the Greek historian who worked in Egypt around 400 BC, Herodotus speaks with the Egyptian priests, and here's what he found. The Egyptian priests revealed to Herodotus that there was a culture, a civilization prior to the Egyptians, much older than them. The Egyptians revealed that this older culture was more than 14,000 years ago, and the Egyptian priests also told Herodotus how some of the Egyptian pyramids were built. Based on Herodotus's Book 2, the lack of hieroglyphics or other symbols and the construction features, it is estimated that both of these structures were built around 14,000 years ago. It is estimated about 900 AD there was a major earthquake which knocked off the cladding from this Great Pyramid. All this material was repurposed. Much of the beautiful white cladding exists today in some of the structures within Egypt, Cairo. Drexel University took a few samples of the existing remaining cladding, and here's what they found. The cladding appears to be diatomaceous earth and lime to form a limestone concrete. Now let's take a look on the inside. And our first view is from 1874 in the book Our Inheritance, the Great Pyramid. Now let's take a look at this pyramid. Each side is 230 meters, and it's 146 meters tall. The dimensions in cubits is 365 cubits, which same as the number of days in a year. We have the center, the grand gallery, the king's chamber, and it's 1/3 up the pyramid. And pyramid is fire. Pyr is fire in Greek. Mid is middle. Here's the queen's chamber. These are not ventilation shafts. These are shafts that have kind of a plug that's 8.5 inches by 8.5 with copper handles on it, and they can be moved up and down in each of these shafts. The interior consists of limestone and granite, red granite structures throughout. Some unknown void recently discovered. To explain the theory of how the Great Pyramid of Giza works, we're going to look at these two circuits. The first is an open circuit. As soon as the switch is closed, you have energy and powers going through the system. The second circuit consists of two copper plates, one in the ground and one in the air, like an antenna, but they're not actually connected. Notice there's going to be a charge developing with time. It trickles in slowly until finally the voltage is so intense that there's a spark at a location T and T prime. Now let's take another look at this. Now let's put this to use by putting in a coil and placing a mica dielectric in between those two plates. And look what happens. Charge trickles in slowly on the negative side from the ground. Then when the charge gets to an extreme high intensity, you get a spark right at this place where there's the two metal strips like a spark gap. And that causes a reverse flow towards the coil. That spark goes in the other direction. Now let's put that to use. Place an iron in that coil and then have an arm. That arm is connected to a wheel which is geared in to move anytime the solenoid is magnetically activated. A spring is attached such that once it's activated, it pops back up, ready for the next cycle. That circuitry is the Nikola Tesla patent for a method of utilizing radiant energy. Radiant energy, here's the theory on how the pyramid works. The cosmic energy bombards the limestone concrete both day and night. Charges form in the red granite and also on the exterior of this material. And gradually the charge moves towards the king's chamber, gradually accumulating, trickling in at a certain rate designed based on the capacitance and inductance of the design of this system, until finally there's such enough energy and potential difference to spark in the Queen's chamber. When the spark in the Queen's chamber executes, only high frequency energy is pushed through the grand gallery. Red limestone becomes highly conductive to high frequencies. A rough calibration occurs in the space between the king's chamber and the grand gallery. There are these plugs that go up and down. These plugs are depicted in sketches from 1874 as shown. Frequency fine-tuning occurs in those shafts B and C, where the 8.5 inch by 8.5 inch plug moves up and down, is moved up and down to get to the right frequency that they desire. When the pyramid is fine-tuned, it results in pulsed high frequency, which is then at its maximum once it achieves resonance, where the pulsed high frequency resonance occurs when the inductance circuit equals the capacitance circuit as shown in the equation under resonance above. Please comment, and if you like this video, please subscribe. Thank you.